right, this is take two because, like an idiot, I didn't have my microphone plugged in. I don't even know. So, all right, to start. So where I started before was Lust from Beyond. Yes, this is the review for what it is for Lust from Beyond. And good God, there is so much to unpack. There's so much. I got so much crammed into this suitcase that I know it's not going to be a thorough, coherent, like, review. But I do want to say, if you really want to play it, it is out. It's on Steam. I will post links, but it's out if you want to go play it. My suggestion is you actually play Lust for Darkness first, or at least watch Lust for Darkness first, because it is a direct continuation of the first game. So watch Lust for Darkness first, or play Lust for Darkness first. Last time I looked, I think it was on sale on Steam. I don't remember right now, because again, to remind you, I play horror games. I watch horror games. I don't play them. So you want to see what the fuck it's talking before you dip your toe into the sequel. My suggestion is, because there's a lot that's a direct sequel from the first game, that things from the first game impact this game. So, also, before I begin this sad review for what it is, this is going to cover a lot of topics that if I was a monetized channel, I would have to blurt out words and like try to dance around. But there's some rape stuff in here, and there is a lot of violence. It was a lot more violence than I was really trying to see, for real. So if you are sensitive to that kind of thing, and I understand, if you are very sensitive to the topics of rape and violence and murder and everything like that, you gotta abandon ship, because it's mad edgy. It's mad edgy. And I was like, woo, we are like crossing some lines here, Lust for Darkness. So again, I am a 43-year-old chick. I know I can handle certain topics. I'm okay with certain topics. So that's fine for me, but it's not fine for everybody in the situation. So if you don't want to hear about any of this kind of stuff, if it's too much for you, please abandon ship right now. And then, yes, I am spoiling every fucking thing. So, but with all of this being said, and I've never had to issue a trigger warning for something before. Wow. So that fucking just happened. But yeah, so let's get into this review. So before I start, I do have to say I liked it. I'm just a little bit hazy on the ending, and that could just be my fault because I went through two different people who did a two different kind of way of playing this game. I watched two different people play, even though the part where I jumped in from Houston, from where I left off of Noxon, was literally the exact same place. But there is a point in the game where you have to make some key choices that affect the outcome, not the outcome of the protagonist that you're playing as, but as other people interrelated into that situation. So I was a little hazy on the ending. Plus, I think Houston probably did a really good job of editing, because later on there is a part where you have to do one of those sex parts to get back into Lustga, and the way he edited it, he opened up a curtain and ended up in Lustga, and I was like, oh, okay. And it went so far over my head that I didn't even think about it till I watched Nox's version of that same part, and I was like, oh, well, goddamn, they did some good ass editing. But that's still later down the road. So pretty much because I had been keeping up with everything having to do with Lust for Darkness and the two prequels that came out, which they also factor into the game, I was just kind of like, okay, so basically, remember like the last video game vlog I was talking about, like they had did all these demos, and the demos were like just kind of seemed kind of like they were part of the story, even though they may have seen a little one-off, especially that very first one that came out about a year ago, maybe almost 2 years ago, where you were the Christopher guy and you were talking with people at the Cult of Ecstasy's house they were staying at. So that factors into this new game. The one where the dude was, like I said, came into some theater and was going there to fuck some chick all out of nowhere, a random hookup situation, and then he ended up getting trapped by these other side people. They're also in that suit in that theater is also a part of the main game with this Victor dude. So then I said they had like the first hour up, so I watched like all of this go forth, and then basically the first hour of the game was kind of sort of just like how Noxon had played it before. I think there were like minor variances. I do not remember. The thing about this is my review is kind of going to be all over the place because I think it was so much. My brain was like, okay, we got to protect ourselves because there was a lot that fucking happened here. And my brain is just like, no, you're not going to remember a lot of key things. So again, if you want to either watch Noxon or Huster or somebody play it or buy it yourself and play it, but I'm going to be all over the place. So it was pretty much the same thing. An inciting, like Victor Holloway is running an antique store. And basically all his parents are gone and like he's running this antique store living kind of like a regular life, but he's having these debauched, messed up dreams of being in Lusga, but he thinks they're dreams, but they're not really dreams. He's getting called to Lusga. So, but he has a fiance or a girlfriend or some shit, and it's their anniversary and they're trying to have a romantic, sexy night together. And basically, like, they're doing it, they're fucking, and like, she's like, okay, baby, you need to slow down, and he like, is like, getting all kind of like not slowing down and giving her the pleasure that she needs. So, basically, he ends up, as they're fucking, he ends up going into Lusga, because that's how you kind of can get into Lusga in this game. Before, you had to go through these vag portals, and they do have some vag portals, but mostly you get to Lusga by basically, I guess, having an orgasm or coming or whatever the fuck, but you get there via fucking in this one. So, like, he ends up going into Lusga. I forget what happens when he goes in there. He's like waking up kind of like he just had a sleep paralysis situation, and he slaps his girlfriend, and I'm like, what? So that's why she's like, no, you gotta go see this dude, this therapist, because he's helping people, and blah, blah, blah. And she's very insistent that you go see Austerlitz, something with an A, Austerlitz, something like that. And he's like, I guess. So then he drives off to this town of Bleakmore, and that's when all this stuff in the previous 1 hour situation where he goes to Bleakmore, the town is closed down because of some festival or some shit, and they let him through for whatever reason. And because he's going to go see Dr. Austerlitz, that's right. And basically, like, he gets there, the doctor's not there because he's running late, and he goes to stay at this skeezy hotel, no-tell. It's a fucking go. Basically, you go in there to fucking go. So he's like trying to sleep, but then like somebody bangs on the door and is like, we gonna come and get you, and blah, blah, blah. And he's finding like all these people dead around the hotel, and he has to escape. He escapes, but ends up some kind of way getting captured and ending up in that theater where that other dude from the Scarlet demo got all trapped and was getting blown and stuff. So, yeah, he gets trapped by that doctor, and the doctor, like, let the doctor take care of you, and he is tied up. The Victor dude is tied up, and the doctor comes by and blows him. In my mind, I am like, okay, that just fucking happened. And yeah, they blew him, and he ends up going into the last guy situation. And I think I was just so like, oh my pills, oh my God. Even though I came here for this level of trash, I was not expecting this level of trash right out the door. So yeah, that fucking happened, and I was just like, well, damn. So all right. So something happens he ends up. Oh, okay. He goes through that Lust God world. I cannot remember what happens when he goes through there because I the Lust God parts kind of don't excite me in this version. Um, and basically he gets rescued by Amanda and Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan makes a return, and I gotta talk about him in a minute. So basically, they're telling him like that's the Scarlet Lodge. They're all fucked up because really their situation is rather fucked at the Scarlet Lodge because they're basically raping and killing people. There's like this part, like part of the super mad edgy that nobody asked for, where you find body parts in like basically that Rhea, because Rhea is with the Dr. Austerlitz. It's like his surrogate daughter, and she when you're tied up, basically before you get tied up on some cross thing, you have to take these body parts off the cross thing and dump them into a bin that says, or yeah, it's like a trash bin that says fuck toys. It literally says fuck toys. And I was just like, we in a little next level with the edginess, people. You need to kind of dial it back like by 1,000. So, but they didn't. So I was just like, oh fucking well, this is just gonna be like this. So, I'm about to say Rachel. Amanda and Jonathan save him. They're like, those people are like kind of crazy and fucked up, but they were with us because they were all part of their original cult of ecstasy that you meet in the first game that Jonathan is trying to rescue Amanda from. And a lot of them were there. Those who didn't die either in that Lustgar world or didn't get all fucked up in that fire managed to escape, and then they separate the two groups. You got the Scarlet Lodge crazy motherfuckers, and then the Cult of Ecstasy. They're crazy motherfuckers, but they're not murdery crazy motherfuckers, at least not at this point. So basically, it's like a handful of the Cult of Ecstasy people, and because Bleakmore is pretty much just all Scarlet Lodge, and it's apparently a lot of those. I mean, judging by the amount of dead fucking bodies in that spot, it was a lot of them motherfuckers going around. So, basically, you're kind of traversing back and forth through Lustgar, and you're getting information about the world of Lustgar, and basically, Amanda tells you, like, Lustgar's in pain, and you're the only seer that's able to help him, and you gotta open up this, I want to call it anthraxia, but that's not what it's called. I can't remember. They're trying to open some gate because they're supposed to, if you open this gate, it'll help the god of ecstasy, Loverbrock. It'll help his ass not be all fucked up, and then like everybody can have endless orgasms. Now, on its face, that might sound really nice. But there's just something not right in my mind about having an endless orgasm. Like, or I'm all for people getting their jollies. I am all for a good time as much as the next person. But a lot goes into that kind of thing. Like, your body goes through intense things during that moment in time. And I'm like, I can't imagine, like, it's something about that. You would probably go insane if something like that happened. You would probably just be nuts for the rest of your existence. So, yeah, that was what they were trying to do. And I can't say, like, I'm all for a good time. I'm not for a good time as much as the next person, but damn. Like, can I go get, like, a sandwich? Or, like, can I go, like, watch something normal on YouTube? Like, that's all for the games, but I kind of got shit to do. I can't be up here orgasming all day. So yeah, that's where her aim is, to like free Loverbrock, the lustful god, from what the fuck ever. And basically, his girlfriend is like, well, where are you? I need to know where you are. You can't just leave because you need the doctor to help you and blah, blah, blah. And it was at this point, I'm like, that bitch set him the fuck up. I don't know what the fuck. Like, no, but we're in love and this is Victor, we're all in love. And I'm like, bitch, no, she fucking set you into this. This is why she's so insistent you go see this Dr. Bowler Hat, whatever the fuck his name is. So Austerlitz. So basically, it does end up boiling down to that, but we get to that a little bit later. So well, actually, we get to it about now because pretty much Dr. Austerlitz, one of the times you call your stupid ass fiance, girlfriend, or whatever the hell she is like, we have your bitch, haha, we're gonna do terrible things to her if you don't come and get her. And Jonathan and Victor basically saddle up the guns well, actually this time you have a gun and or a knife. So they saddle up the weaponry and basically try to go get his slag back. So not the slut shame, but it's just like, come on, this chick is a slag. So, because she set him up mostly. So, you go back to the Scarlet Lodge and basically, it's something about some book. You get some book, because that was why he got blown by the doctor the first time they forced him to go back in the Lusga world. He was trying to get some fucking book that Dr. Austerlitz's mother or grandmother or some shit had written. So you find this book at the Scarlet Lodge while you're trying to find your dumbass slaggy skank bag. And basically Dr. Austerlitz tells you like all this dumb shit and you get captured, and they're trying to figure out how to open up this gate because they want all the pleasure too. And I don't know, can't you just be satisfied with having an orgy? Is it too much? It's not enough to just have an orgy every now and then? But I guess not. So they send him back into that Lusga situation. And that was the part where the Houston person had opened the curtain and ended up in Lusga, as to oppose to when I saw Noxon play it. He opened it up and ended up in a blowjob situation. So I was like, well, damn. So I think Houston really, like, he had his on the unedited version, but he did some good ass editing because I couldn't tell the fucking difference. And I can usually spot a jump cut. So, basically he goes back into that Lusga world and transforms, which I didn't understand that. I still kind of don't understand it because we swing back to that at the tail ass end. But he goes to find what they want and he transformed, and then you see him in the bed all mutated and fucked up, and that Rhea chick is like, oh my god, what the fuck did we do? And I don't know if it was more than she could handle, so she ends up committing suicide, or if Dr. Austerlitz some kind of way kills her. I think the implication is she kills herself because she can't take knowing that if you go in the Lusga world, it's not just gonna be orgasms of popping, you're gonna turn into something gross. So basically, you have to get in this boss fight with somebody else some other seeing person who went in that universe and got all fucked up. After you fight him, this is where the first choice mechanic comes in. You have the choice to kill Dr. Austerlitz or let him live. So Houston let him live, knocks him fucking off that motherfucker. And I kind of don't know which one to root for. So, it depends on what your choice is, and I know both endings, and I will tell you both endings. So, but basically, you have a choice whether to stomp that motherfucker out or just let him go and keep it moving. So, after that decision has been made, you're trying to leave, but you're like, I gotta go find Lily because I love Lily and blah blah blah. So you find her. And she's playing the girl. She's like, this was all a lie. I ain't really love you. And he's like, I can't believe you don't really mean that. You probably just started off as a mission, but you know you love me. You know my dick is popping. And basically she's like, yeah, you're right. But then Jonathan fucking shoots her in the head and she dies. And he's like, why did you just kill my piece? And Jonathan was like, you gonna end up all fucked up like me. Because let me tell you about my man Jonathan. Jonathan is all shades of fucked up. Remember the last part we were laughing at when every time we see him, we were like, Willard was right, let's fuck. And it was all these tentacles like that one girl said, look at her, I could see the fuckery through the door. Well, apparently, he got all mad fucked up. Boyfriend was stuttering. He was not mentally tightly wrapped anymore. Boyfriend had gone off the maddest, deepest end of the deepest pool they could find because he was gone. his brain was Swiss damn cheese, and nobody knew what the fuck happened to him. Because I was sitting there, I was like, well, goddamn, what the fuck happened to this motherfucker? The last time we saw him, he was normal, and now he is all fucked up. So, and he had it far to go, quite frankly, because Jonathan was kind of corny. But yeah, he fucking kills the Lily girl. He killed somebody else to save you that first time too, but he fucking murked the shit out of that Lily girl. So you wake up back at the cult with them cult fools, and Amanda's like, well, you're gonna join us now because the Scarlet Lodge is done and you need to be with us because you're like the most powerful seeing we ever had, and you need to get it together and help our cause and help us and blah tra la la and blah blah blah. So he's like, no, I'm fucking stomp Jonathan the fuck out because he killed my piece. And no. So she's like, I guess if you need to kill him, do what you need to do, but you really need to be focusing on getting this Luzga situation together. And if you want to go kill him, he's right in behind you. So you kind of have to chase after him. And after this little talk, this is where like decision 2 comes in. So you can either stomp him out completely or let him live. And again, once that choice is made, basically you make the decision that you're going to stay with Madam McCrazy, aka Amanda, and like just live your life in like complete debauchery with the occasional sprinklings of some less god nonsense. So like 6 months go by, and basically you have pretty much through sex and just like fuck this and this, you just get over the fact that your girlfriend died, all stupid, and like you're helping Amanda and whatever. And basically they're trying to get some mask because he's the avatar for like this I think for Lovebrock or for some other thing. And they're trying to open up that, I want to call it anthraxia, but it's not anthraxia. Wherever the gate is, you're trying to open it. So they go to get a mask, some other dumb shit happens, and basically it's a bad night. People are starting to die. Like the 2-headed dude that's always in the mansion, like one of them is just an asshole, the other is like a normal person. They kill the normal one by cutting the normal one's head off, and then the mean one is all of a sudden nice, like, I'm sorry, I was such a dick, and then he dies. Like everybody in the lodge is dead except for the priest Theodore. And then like Mabel, which is the girl that's been helping you doing tarot card readings, she's all fucked up, and she's like, I don't want to die, please help me, go find what you need to go help me. And he goes off to go figure out the Luzga situation, and he finds out that basically he was just being used by Amanda. Big fucking shock. We all knew that chick was all fucked up, so Madam Mick fucked up over here. So yeah, so basically you and Amanda duke it out, and then you duke it out again with her mutated form, which her mutated form is all manner of fucked up. And then you duke it out a third time. Like basically she's like, well, you just want to fuck me, basically, and like, you want this, and she is mutated as shit at this point. She don't even have a face. Like her mask is like up here, but it's just like a gaping long, like slinky of a head with just goo inside, and then like, it was gross. I was like, oh, this is gross. But you have the third choice, whether to accept her as like, I don't even know, or you can like kill her. So it is unclear what Huster chose. I am assuming Huster chose to kill her, but he didn't show it. I saw Knox's playthrough. He stomped that bitch out, and the way she dies is so wildly fucked up. It is just, I'm not even going to tell you how fucked up it is. It's some shit you have to see to fucking believe. So after that, you basically are back in your little antique store, and you're filling out the order for the same lady that you were filling out the order for in the very beginning, and she's telling you like, well, you need to find a girlfriend because you can't just be sad about Lily forever, and he's not over it. And she was like, you need to find somebody to build a nice life with and have beautiful memories with. So the last part is you go and you see your most beautiful memory. Huster did one version where it was like real quick. He just walked around. It was monsters fucking, and he just left. Knox Noxon did it in like that same part, and it's like some giant gross slug thing on the floor. Like you see these slug things in Lust God at one point before, but this time you can actually fuck the slug thing, and he fucks the slug thing, and it's like, oh my god, he's fucking the slug thing. So I was just like, all right, man, where do you go after sticking your dick in a giant alien slug thing? I don't know where you go from there. So basically, after that part, he's like having all these bad flashbacks and hallucinations of things people said, and Victor cannot take it. He grabs the revolver, and it's curtains for him. He just couldn't take the shit anymore, so he just takes the ultimate way out. Now, if you read, you see that one ending remains the same. Theodore's ending kind of changes, but you get two things with Theodore. And the ending where you choose to kill everybody, which is what Noxon did, you get the ending where Jonathan's dead. Amanda feels real bad, but she knew she needed Victor to be on her side. So she just was like covering her real feelings, but she felt bad that Jonathan had died, and she was like, I miss my husband, and I miss my having a normal life. Bitch, you could have been, whatever. And what the fuck happened to your kid? They never elaborate on that, but what the fuck ever. So, because basically, Amanda sells Jonathan out to Lust God, and that's part of the that's the main reason why his brain is Swiss cheese, because she gave him the Lust God. So I'm imagining the nonsense that man had to suffer through because he was given as a present to Lust God. You know, nothing fucking good was coming from that, especially if it was not consensual. And by the way, consent is very important in relations of sexual intercourse. So yeah, and I don't want to hear like, well, no, people might, no, nobody likes that shit. And if they do, it's because they've disassociated from some stuff. So yes, consent is fun and sexy and makes everybody have a much better time than encroaching on people's liberty and body and freedom and autonomy. Always get consent, children. So, but she gave Jonathan a Lust God. That's why his brain was fucking Swiss cheese. And that was why, but she felt guilty getting him killed and tra-la-la. But in the end, she ended up dead in both the versions. That's why I said I think Huster killed her too. He just didn't show it. All right. So, the priest dude does make it out of that situation. That Mabel girl does end up dying. He buries her, and either in the ending where you kill everybody, he's just depressed living in this mansion. It seems like he dies in that mansion, just all sad that nothing good happened from the situation, and everybody he knew is dead. Amanda's gone, the cult's done, the Scarlet people have fucked off to do something else. It's just done, and he's just sad and living alone, and possibly dies in the version where everybody dies. But I don't know. In the version where this is where my mind is. This game got my brain turned into Swiss cheese itself. But in the version where you don't kill anybody, basically Jonathan lives. He basically gets banished to that hotel that homeboy first was starting at. But after a while, he's like, fuck this, and goes back to being an architect and trying to carve out some kind of life. And then Amanda asks to meet him at some point, and he leaves and doesn't show up for their meeting. And he just goes back to Pittsburgh and tries to carve out the best life he can with a brain that's been traumatized and made into Swiss cheese. So that's what happens to Jonathan, whether he lives or dies. Okay, what happened to them Scarlet people? If you don't kill the doctor, they skulk off into the mist. They open up, like basically that Dr. Austerlitz dude starts a clinic for sex addicts, but then he's still running around kind of abusing people. So some people leave and he gets arrested because they out him for being abusive and terrible. But overall, their mission is no longer that of sleaze. It's like, we going to do good things for people. So minus Dr. McFeely over there. So he gets arrested and he gets carted off. Now, if he dies, they go on a fucking murderous damn rampage, a sex-fueled murderous rampage, and start killing people and orgying, and it's just weird and fucked up. And that's what happens if you kill that stupid ass doctor dude. So yeah, you got that going. And what else? I think that's everybody. But Victor is just dead. He couldn't take it. He just was like, no. If the chick ends up, and Amanda ends up dead, I don't know what, I have not seen an ending where where you take her offer. I don't know what happens with that. So we'll have to wait and see if somebody else does an ending where you just are like, oh, pussy is pussy, and you just stay with her and you just fuck till the end of creation. I don't know. So I don't know what happens in that ending, but that's pretty much what happened. And it's just like, there was a lot there. There was a lot there. And I'm just like, oh my God. What the fuck did I watch? Overall, I did like it. And I did think it was a good wrap up to the Lust from whatever series. So I did like it. I just was a little confused and a little hazy on the ending. But like I said, I don't know if that's because I watched two different people play two vastly different choiced games. But it was still good. I mean, I'm not going to say it slapped. It was good. I felt satisfied with that ending. And it was a lot more murder than it was for me for smut and trash. But I guess it happened. So I need to get my life out of the gutter. But hey, gutter life is what's going to happen right now. So I got that going. But yeah, so, what a fucking trip, man. Whew. It was a ride and a half. So that is all I have right now. And like, I was going to talk about Resident Evil because there's some Resident Evil 9 rumors, but I'll address those another day. But yeah, if you want to check out Lust from Beyond, it is out. It is on Steam. It is on YouTube. It is, y'all need to put that on something where I can watch it in its uncensored format. Because it was like, there was times where people would go in a drawer and pull out a dildo and Victor would be like, that's such and so's friend. This is Mabel's old friend. This is such and who's his friend. Oh, one of them times that did Rhea girl has you tied up, she's shoving a dildo in your face. Talk about smell it. It smells like the shit of the last thing. And I'm just like, okay. Y'all not cleaning the sex toys? Like, okay. Didn't I have a discussion about this? Did you clean your... Okay. Yeah. So, enough of this. There's a lamb nail in... Whew, if you're looking for a ride to have, it's out there. So, I don't even know.